You're watching News 24 and we are still at the IEC, and this time we really are in the final stretch of the voter counts. Now things are getting tense, announcements are pending as votes are coming neck and neck, but we are getting a greater sense of what's going on. We've got our analysts here again to give us a greater sense of what's going on. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, so Tshwane is the big hot thing at the moment. What are we seeing that's happening right here?
Well, it's a really tight race in Tshwane at the moment. It's difficult to predict who the ultimate winner will be. Nobody's going to get 50%. We know that much so far. It's shifting between the ANC and the DA depending as the results come in. The outstanding results are really largely from Tshwane, where the ANC would expect to benefit mostly, and from Centurion, where the DA will benefit, and perhaps to a greater extent than the ANC. So at the moment, it's looking marginally in favour of the DA emerging as the largest party in Tshwane.
Now, obviously, I mean, my mind has already started to hint to the fact that, you know, their projections kind of suggest that it's theirs. What does this mean kind of for Tshwane? You know, the ANC's had a stronghold over this. Ralph, what do you think this is going to mean for the area?
Well, I think the reality is sinking in for the ANC that Tshwane is gone. It will have to be a miracle for the remaining voting district coming in to actually tilt the scale in favor of the ANC. I mean, clearly it's almost nearly there where it just cannot go to the ANC anymore. So I think that the DA is excited about it. And walking on the corridor, you see Mr. Maimane, he just can't stop talking now because they're having fun. I think they've done much better than they have thought, and the ANC has done very well, badly. And I think that the voting district that are being left, it speaks to that distribution of the turnout, where in ANC areas the turnout are just not so good. And the DA did manage to get their voters out there in the numbers to be able to suppress any attempt by the ANC to catch up with the DA. So clearly we are headed for a coalition in Tshwane. We will see what kind of coalition is going to be, but no party can secure outright majority as indications seem to be at this point.
All right. Now, coalition obviously is the hot word at the moment, and we heard from EFF leader Malema saying that, you know, he doesn't want to be in coalitions with the ANC, but is also open to talks, which for me sounds like no real answer to anything. Yeah. What is your response kind of to Malema at this stage?
Well, you know, understandably he's hedging his bets at this point in time. He's not, you know, he's saying that the EFF's position is that they would, don't want to enter into negotiations around coalition specifically, but he's willing to talk to political parties as a politician. You know, and I think the reality of the situation is that parties will discuss coalitions. And if a palatable compromise can be reached that works for both parties in a coalition, or the 3 or 4 parties that may need to construct a coalition, then it is something that will happen. I think at the moment it's a bit early to say how that might go. Personally, I think there might be an easier fit, even though they may appear to be ideologically more divergent between the EFF and the DA rather than between the EFF and the ANC, particularly given the antagonistic history between the EFF and the current leadership of the ANC.
Rolf, do you have anything to add to that kind of
thing? You know, they're very non-committal, saying that no one has approached them. And my sense is that they're actually stranded. I mean, they've got this 10% that they have. They've got this deciding percentage that they could use to decide where the municipality, who runs the municipality. But I think that they are also considering the consequences of whatever decision that they take as to who to go into coalition with. I mean, I was actually surprised to see them using their official Twitter account to try to solicit views from people to say, where do we need to go? And I don't know if in the next few days or so they will try to seek a mandate as to where to go. I mean, if they were strong, they had a clear criteria, they had a clear sense as to where to go, they wouldn't be flip-flopping already as they seem to be doing, you know, throwing it out in the public, saying no one has approached us, saying things such as a coalition has to work for the black child, as they're saying. I think that they're worried. It's a difficult position that they find themselves in, and they have to use it very carefully. If they squander this and go the wrong way, consequences could be severe.
Now, I mean, obviously, we all know this has been a very, very interesting election. As analysts, what can we take away from kind of this this season? And is there anything new that we've learned about, you know, the voter in this round?
Well, I think we've learned a lot about the electorate in South Africa. The people, the status quo is no longer. This election has marked a significant shift in the way South Africans view politics, view their votes, and South Africans are now becoming more demanding as citizens and are saying that we expect much more from our, in terms of our governance. And we will use our vote to ensure that happens. And ultimately, that is what the vote is about. It is about holding elected representatives to account. And if you don't deliver to what the people need and want and expect from you, then parties like the ANC will see results like this.
Well, you know, I've been here as far back as 1999 when this center was firstly used. I remember very well when the computer system was being set up to count. I was part of the team. I was still a student back then, but elections were highly predictable back then. Since 1999 general election, I've been here, the 2011 election, and all elections I have been here. And something that is significant about this time is that these elections were highly unpredictable. For the first time in South Africa, parties are running very close. There is a sense of insecurity among parties, not knowing what is happening. And I think that South Africa's democracy is actually maturing. And if you cannot predict elections with certainty, it shows that South Africa's elections are actually maturing. And it has been quite an interesting journey. I didn't think we would get here as quickly as we did, from 1994 to this point where we are today and what the board are showing. But I think South Africans want better. They want a much more vibrant democracy. Hence, we got here better than many countries have done in the post-liberation scenario.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your insight. And gentlemen, oh wow, at least it's being recorded. Wait, is there anything you want to add? We can just edit this mistake out. Is that fine? Okay. All right, as you heard it, things are very interesting, and this is obviously one of the most memorable elections that we've had. If you agree or don't, please let us know in the comment section below.